Oh, yeah, there's a mixed range of emotions. Clearly, we came here to win this game of footy, and for us not to get the job done is really, really disappointing. But on the other hand, I thought we took some really good steps forward with our game. We got our system going, I thought, for parts of the game. Clearly got some areas to improve on. But we had plenty of chances to win that game of footy. So mainly disappointing.
It's a bit of deja vu from round one. You were 4 goals down round one and got back to within a kick, and 4 goals down here in the third quarter and got back to within the kick. Is it frustrating that you're letting teams get away from you and then you're having to do all the hard work to get back in?
Yeah, absolutely. And we spoke about it with our players. We need to be able to hold up under pressure. And when the opposition's got momentum, we need to be able to hold up under that pressure better. We weren't able to do that today, clearly. So, that's disappointing. And I thought we started okay. Start of the third quarter was really disappointing. We've clearly got some work to do, but there's some pleasing parts of our game as well.
So that was the key message about the momentum, stopping teams getting away from you, so you don't have to drive back.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, at the Gabba, centre bounce is critical. And when Brisbane got on top, they got on top at centre bounce. They were able to get field position, play the game in their front half, and we weren't able to deal with Brisbane owning field position on us. Like 6-6 from their forward half turnovers, 6-6 from defensive half for us is off turnovers, not where we want to be as a footy club. The good teams, the best teams in the comp, they hold up under that pressure. So we've got some work to do in that area of our game.
Absolutely gas. It was a tough third quarter chasing tail, but I mean, physically, how did they sort of react to that first game back after such a long break?
Yeah, well, really it was just a couple of centre bounces, and that's where they owned field position on us. I thought their pressure actually lifted in their front half, which put us under enormous pressure, and we just couldn't deal with it. But to our credit, they just keep fighting. And even the back end of that third quarter, the last 10 minutes of that third quarter, we played the game in our front half. Fife got going, created some good opportunities, and we started putting the pressure on them. And then, at the start of the last quarter, we were well and truly on top, and we just couldn't kick that extra goal. We had some opportunities, and we kept on creating opportunities, but we just couldn't get that final nail to get us in front. And obviously they kicked that last goal to make it 12 points, but felt it was closer than that for a long period.
The big names really stepped up. Nat had a quiet first quarter, but massive in the second, and then Sonny all throughout, but particularly at the end. You must have been proud with those efforts trying to lead the boys from the front in that situation.
Yeah, they were enormous. I thought our whole midfield group really got going early. Our pressure probably wasn't where it was at, but we had our hands on the footy first. I think clearances were 9-2 at one stage. Our mids got their mojo going, and and they all joined in at certain parts of the game. But those two in particular have been doing it for a long period of time, and they set such a high standard for the rest to follow. So it's a credit to them.
The non-decision with Mark for Taberner early in the last quarter, it looked like he held in the goal square. What did you think? Were you expecting that to be paid as a mark at the time?
I'll have to have a look at it again. I've only seen it live, and to be honest, I just moved on. It wasn't paid a mark. I was more worried about us setting up the zone and defending that kick in, and trying to get the game played in our front half at that stage. So I'll have to have another look at it.
He was blocking Neil, trying to contain him. Obviously, Star, I think he was using the ball really well too, which always makes it tough. But how did the guys find trying to contain him?
We put some strategies in place. And probably had just his normal game today. He's a phenomenal player, and he probably highlighted the difference in the game in some sense that they were just a little bit cleaner than what we were around the ball. They were a bit more one touch. Their first handball away was a bit cleaner. We put ourselves under pressure by not being as clean as we need to be, and that's something we can work on, something we can get better at across the board, and something that'll really help our game. Yeah.
Incredibly inexperienced at the moment. And there's Luke Wilson as well before the game. the decision on who to take Cameron. Logue was really good when you wanted him. You went with Hughes at the start. What was your thought process around how you were going to start with Cameron?
Well, yeah, I suppose the thing is we're a bit small down there at the moment, with height-wise clearly. So we needed Logue to take a tall. We thought Hughesy was a good matchup. Clearly he's a good player, and some of the supply he was getting early in the game, he was just making the most of it. So once we switched Griff onto him, Griff did a great job. But that made us probably vulnerable in other areas. We were fortunate enough that some of our smaller players were able to get it done in the air, and their taller players didn't have an influence as much as Cameron did early.
Darcy injury didn't look too flash. Do you know how he is?
He's got a knee injury. How significant, we'll have to get a scan tomorrow, but yeah, it probably doesn't look great at this stage.
Upsetting is that for him? It seems he just can't get a consistent crack at it. We obviously know how talented he is, but I guess how was he after the game?
Yeah, he's disappointed. I mean, clearly it's been a long time out of footy, so just to get back and get injured first game is not ideal. So fingers crossed it's not too bad, and we get him back as soon as we can. He's clearly an important part of our team, important part of our structure. So yeah, we want to get him back as quick as we can. No, not yet.
You've got a bit of a crisis of talls at the moment. Alex Pearce, Joel Hamling, Cam McCarthy. You add him to the mix as well. It seems like all your injuries are to big blokes.
Yeah, well, it's not ideal. Sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles, and we're just got to deal with it. I think we can, manage that, and we're just going to have to restructure a little bit our team, and we'll get up and get going again next week.
Wilson obviously laid out just a back flared up, did it?
Yeah, he had a back spasm. He's had a scan today, so hopefully it's not too bad. Usually we get a quick response, but he did it after, I think during main training. So 2 days out from a game just didn't give him enough time to get over it. So we expect him to come up next week.
Jesse played this morning and got through unscathed, a couple of goals. How much of a step is that for him towards returning towards AFL level?
It's a big step, to be honest. Yeah, he approached it with the right attitude. It wasn't the news he wanted to have to play not at AFL level. He approached it with the right attitude. By all reports, he worked really hard in the game today, and took another step forward.
What's the decision come down to with him not playing? Was it just that consistent trying to save him, like you said, sort of during the week?
Yeah, I was trying to make him AFL match ready, so that once we get him into our AFL team, he stays there week in, week out, and can contribute at a high level.
Is there a temptation now to bring him back in with, I guess, Matt Taverner worked really hard at forward, but some of your forwards, other forwards might have struggled to score. Is there a temptation now to bring him back in next week?
We'll have a look at all positions on our team, have a good debrief on how they all went at the lower level, and we'll try and pick a team that can beat Port Adelaide.
Approach to the person on Twitter who came out and said, if you take a knee, I'll give back the membership. And you guys said, we'll give you your money back.
Yeah.
Can you give us a comment on how you feel from a team perspective about the support that the club has given towards your Indigenous players in that sort of situation?
Well, I fully support what the club did, and as a past player and a coach of this football club, we've got a really strong history with Indigenous players and staff at our football club, so we fully support the stance that the club took.
Do you believe that someone would say something like that?
No, to be honest.
Just for a basic hub scenario, you've got to get scans for, obviously, Darcy. What do you have to do to avoid seeing people when you're doing that sort of stuff outside of the hotel, obviously?
Yeah, well, I gather it's essential services, so we're allowed to go to any medical practitioners that are in relation with the AFL. The Gold Coast and Brisbane have been really helpful with helping us source some of these things that we need. Players these days, they need scans a lot, so we've got great medical availability on the Gold Coast, and it's been reasonably straightforward so far.